Well, good morning, Tom. I thought today I would do a little program on PhotoBucket and hopefully convince you that it's a good thing to use. And the first thing is, why would you want to use it? And I think the real benefit is that it saves you time, because if you've got lots of nice pictures like you do and you're wanting to, let other people see those pictures, then you got two choices. You can either email them a picture every time, but it kind of takes time, because if you're emailing me pictures and you're emailing, somebody else pictures, and the next guy on Fort Barn a picture, and now you've sent that picture 3 different times, and every time you have to wait for it to upload or you hit your email or whatever, you got to even just find it, right, on your computer. So if you put it on a website like PhotoBucket, it saves you time, because whenever you run across a person and you say, hey, they need a picture of your horn, you say, here, click on this link, go to PhotoBucket, look in my album called Horns, and you'll see some pictures, and, away you go. And for example, somebody like Marco, you see that in Ford Barn there, he posts his pictures a lot. Well, you know for a fact he is not uploading those pictures every time, because it would take way too long. And Marco, of course, has his website, and he just grabs a picture from his website and puts in the ID of that picture. And that's all you have to do, is just put in a link, right? All those links that we click on and copy and paste. So once you have your pictures uploaded, it saves you time. The danger, of course, is that whoever you store them with, if they go bankrupt, you lose your pictures. And I've had about 4 different places at least where I've stored pictures, and a few of them have went bankrupt, and suddenly you go back to their site and your pictures are all gone. So you want to pick somebody that's, in my case, free and doesn't charge too much money, and that seems to be off the ground and not going bankrupt. And PhotoBucket seems to have made it. I've got a PhotoBucket album from many years ago, and it's still there and existing. It's kind of like Google. It looks like they survived. So hopefully they'll be like Chev and GM. They'll stay around for a long time. So that's the concept of why it would help you. And if you do it and you do a good job of it, and maybe even want to list all your, keep a file of all your pictures, well, that would be brownie points and bonus marks for sure. That would be way more organized than I am. But it is important to pick names that will make sense and albums that make sense, so that you don't have to change it and redo it. And I'm not very good at that part, but I was actually thinking maybe a nice way to organize the pictures would be to make a site and go by the chapters of the judging standard. So then you'd have motor and horn and shocks and, paint. And that might be an easy way for us to remember and split our pictures. Now what I did was I made a PhotoBucket site here, and basically it's got a few albums of mine, and it's got a few albums that I created that said Tom Horn or Tom Shock or Kev Datsun or whatever. But really I'm not using it. I just created it, and I'm hoping that you'll use it a little bit. If you don't, then I'll start using it, but maybe we'll both use it at some point to some degree till it fills up. It lets you put on a lot of pictures before it's full. So we'll see. Maybe you say, no, I don't want to use it at all. Well, that's fine. It can sit there. But in any event, I made it. It's called just ahoogakev, and I will email you an email with the password in it so you can sign on, and I'll give you the link so that you can click on the link and get to it. And that main link, of course, if you're emailing somebody, and they need a picture or something, if you have that picture there, you just say, click on this link, go to PhotoBucket, ahoogakev, or we could retitle it, I guess, or whatever, make one for you, but we'll see if it is worthwhile at all. It lets you do a lot of copying and pasting, which helped a lot, and so I just thought it might be, if nothing else, you'll get to see how it works. So let's start off by minimizing my little video camera capture program. And you'll notice here my desktop looks the same as before. You notice the little file up there, Tom November I'm still stuck in November of '09, and that's where all your emails are. And here's my little globe of the world. That's how I get online. So let's go online. And I'm waiting here for the page to finish loading because I know it glitches my voice as soon as I'm moving my mouse or doing anything. But I'm just going to go on my bookmarks, which hopefully you bookmark. Make a bookmark for this photo bucket, and I'll send you the link so you can get to it. But I'm just going to go... Okay, there we go. And we see we clicked on it. It brought up, and this is the home page you'll see with Photo Bucket. And on my computer, at the top, you see I have this address bar there where it's actually called the URL is located. And I'm not sure if you know about URLs or not, but the idea, and it stands for Universal Resource Location Locator or something like that. But what it really is, it's just the address of every page on the internet. And believe it or not, every page on the internet has an address of where it is. And that's how you get to what you want to get to, of course. So if you have never been to Ford Barn before, of course, if you can get up there and you type in www.fordbarn.com, you find it, right? If you type in www.google.com or w.nasa, whatever. So those are URLs, and every page has a URL. So PhotoBucket has a URL as well, and it keeps one separate for every person. And you see on my screen here at the top, it shows https://946photobucket.com albums add 306/ahoogakev. And that's the important part at the end, ahoogakev. That's probably the home page of ahoogakev on PhotoBucket. And this is indeed what it is. So when you see this home page, it's a little bit hard to see on my screen because my screen is not that, my monitor is not all that big. So you see at the bottom that little slider bar. You probably don't have one of those if you've got a decent sized monitor. I have to slide that slider sideways to see the full page. A lot of times what I'm looking at is missing on the right side of the page. So you'll see me sliding that back and forth. But the way to look at this page is at the top where it shows ahoogakev, then it says all albums, and in this case it brings up ahoogakev default album. I'm sure I'm going to delete that album, and we might do it here together. And then to the far right in green it says log on. The next thing it shows is the URL, which we know already is the location of this page, and that's the part we would copy and paste out to give to someone else so that they could get to this and browse around it. So let's go to part 2 and we'll carry on.